10 minutes is not a very long time. If you look at the span of the whole day, 24 hours, for 10 minutes, you were asked to sit in one position and try not to change your body position for those 10 minutes. And you were to observe your interaction with the body and try to observe who the decision maker was, self or body. Perhaps you felt the need to change the posture, but you decided not to. Perhaps you felt the need to change the body posture and you did. Who is deciding? Self or body? And for those 10 minutes, how much time were you busy with yourself? And how much time did you actually spend interacting with the body? It's possible that you sat down for 10 minutes, but your thoughts were elsewhere. Tomorrow is Deepavali, meaning today. You would have done this exercise yesterday. I have to do this, I have to do that. We will go there, meet so and so. Perhaps that could be happening within. How much time were you aware of the body being there? So ultimately, that observation we have to keep doing all the time if we want to be aware of, if we want to be happy in continuity and we want to understand ourselves, we want to understand the body, then we need to observe ourselves, we need to observe the body, and we need to observe the outside. So slowly we started with just the self. Now with the self, we are also observing the body. And very soon we'll also be including the outside because we have the potential to do all this, to be able to observe all this. So ultimately, we can observe throughout the day all of this. So in those 10 minutes that you sat and did this exercise, what were your observations? And what kind of conclusions could you draw from your observations? So we can take some sharings regarding this. Jayamani ji. Jayamani ji. Your mic is unmuted, but I don't hear you. Okay, we'll come back. Pramod Kumari ji.
Namaste. Am I audible?
Audible, but if you could raise the volume a little bit, it would be better.
I observed yesterday. Yeah. I sit for 10 minutes and observe. I did not give any instruction to the body until there was a sensation from the body, that is a phone call or a person's entry. So it was the self who decided what is to be done. And all the time, maximum time, I was busy with myself. I instructed the body to sit and I started traveling down the memory lane, like you said about plannings. So imagination took me from a distance of 0 kilometer to 500 kilometers, even from my house to my parents' house to my in-laws' house. And it happens to be a great tour unless any assumption appears. Otherwise, it is disharmonious sometimes. Then I just go for exercise one. And from this whole exercise observation, I concluded the control of the body lies with the self completely. It is like the remote control is with the self. Body is just a follower of that, and it is just a, as you mentioned, tool which like keeps doing things. For example, even I when I swing my son for some time, then I just start doing these exercises like what is the assignment. So I completely lost with the self, with the imagination, what is going on within me. And then he just asked me, Mama, where are you? like you are just smiling, not just talking to me, conversing with me. So all of a sudden I'm reminded that yes, I'm with him and I need to like answer, I suppose to converse with him and respond to him. So this is my observation, baby.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice, Pramod Kumariji. Good that you are able to keep observing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yes, yes, Didi. And Didi, sometimes what happens, like whatever is happening around us, like whatever negative news we read in the newspapers, so it is spontaneous that we feel the pity and fear for the person with whom it happens. But at the same time, the same image is created within like ourselves, and we also feel a fear, and that settles down somewhere within us. And then even without any context, certain things clicks and we feel happening with ourselves. So Didi, how can we overcome that? Or even I don't want to see that happening with me, but it these things intervene within my imagination and interrupt me all of a sudden without any context, and I don't know like how to overcome this thing.
Yeah. So you see, when we discussed the exercise one, so
Yes,
we mentioned about our assumptions,
yes,
that we all have many kinds of assumptions within us.
yes,
Some are deep rooted that we are not at all aware of. Some are more superficial. Some have been there for very, very long.
yes,
So it almost seems automatic that sometimes we have a certain type of feeling,
yes, baby.
but it's not automatic. It is because I have, I believe something, you know,
Yes,
and it is sitting there inside me somewhere. Where will it go? Isn't it? That assumption
yes,
is there within me. But it
yes,
is just that when some incidents happen,
yes, baby.
my attention is drawn to that incident.
Yes,
I can relate to those people that they had, this problem. But then my assumption kicks in, my
yes,
fear that I am body. And what if this happens to me? I'm not perhaps conscious of it, but suddenly I have fear within me.
yeah. Feel happening to our near and dear ones if certain incidents happen like this. So that also comes.
This is a very interesting thing that, you know, if we really truly understand the self and the body,
Yes,
then we will understand that the self or I am continuous. I want to
yes,
live and I continue to live. So there is no problem there. But if I
yeah,
understand that the body, the moment there is birth of the body, it is certain that one day it will die also, isn't it? That is the
yeah,
norm.
yeah, Didi, it happens. But actually, here was an incident with me. Like when my father passed away 5 years ago, so I was very. It was like very difficult for me to just follow the afterlife, what was happening, the repercussions I was having, that my world is completely lost because I was too much attached with him. Then I started searching, where has he gone? What has happened to him? Then Google was the only source. So I just searched. It might be a salvation or rebirth, or somebody comes in godly form, or the complete existence is lost. So I was not aware of the answers. Although in childhood we were just told about the soul, of immortality of the soul, but that answer was like I was not much aware that the immortality, we know, we have studied that immortality is there, but still, when it happens to our near and dear ones, then it is very difficult to come out of that. Like, I just used to visualize my father, and it was very difficult for me to just accept it. really has he left? I used to visualize him at my home doing such and such things, passing through this way, that way. So that's why I got completely, for it temporarily, I got just disturbed, and my thought process changed completely. So
Yeah.
that's why things recur to me sometimes, and I was
Yeah.
not
So
able.
if you look at this, what is happening actually?
Yeah.
So somewhere there is, you know, we tend to think because within us, we have that vague, uh, we can see that we want to live.
Yeah.
But when we transfer this will to live to the body, in a way,
Yes.
when we
Yes.
expect this to happen in the body, now here the problem comes. Because
Yes.
if you see, even in the case of your near and dear ones, right?
Yes.
What is happening after death? Just that you cannot communicate with that person,
Yes. Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
Supposing the person was in olden times, there was no mobile, there was no even telegram in the beginning was not there. People went overseas by boat.
Yes.
It took them
Yeah.
3 months to go there. And
Yes.
then there was no news for years together.
Yes.
So now what has changed? Just that the person is far away.
Yes.
You can't really communicate with that person.
Yes.
So you feel that, you know, this person doesn't exist. But if we look at, what, as we understand things, the body we can see, the body dies. The self we are
Yes.
not able to see, so we think that that whole person has been finished. It's not there.
Yes.
And so we
Yes.
mourn. What do you mourn about a person? It could be
Um,
that the person is not there for me anymore. I cannot
yeah.
talk to that person. I cannot interact with the person. There was somebody who cared about me. That person is not there.
Yeah.
Or it may be guilt that maybe I didn't do enough for that person. When he was
Yes.
alive, I could have done this, I could have done
Yes.
that,
Yes.
but I didn't get a
Yes.
chance.
Yes.
So if you look at these, about the mourning, it's not
Yes.
about that other person, it's about me, my perspective. I
Yes.
don't
But
have somebody now with me. I didn't do enough for him or her.
yeah.
So, what to do to come out of it? Well, let's focus on the people that are there now. And,
Yeah. Yes.
you know, there are other elders in the family, there are other relatives, there are so many people.
Yeah.
So, let
But
us do
yeah,
something.
memories of that person just sometimes haunt us, and the absence, very absence, like the advices I used to receive from him, and although other, yeah, I have to take care of mother, other family members, but still it's sometimes becomes very challenging and hard. We accept all the things, and as you told, but still somewhere it is like it just touches. Yeah.
Yeah, so in fact, we are not accepting.
Yeah.
We
Yes,
have a
Didi.
different acceptance. You know?
Yeah, but now after just I'm attending these sessions, and now I just started accepting it as a reality. Slightly, it started with me, and now I'm just telling that way to my mother also. So
Yeah,
thank
see,
you.
what happens is if I am myself not comfortable within, I don't always have the right feeling within, then
Mhm.
I'm going to look for this feeling outside.
Yes,
And
Didi.
supposing there was somebody who cared about me a lot, who gave me a lot
Yeah,
of advice, I felt
yeah,
reassured in his presence,
yeah.
then I miss him all the more. But
Yes,
the
Didi.
moment I start, understanding things, I feel more calm and comfortable within. I also
Yes,
understand that this is the way things work, and one day everybody will go through this process, and not that he is finished and gone. He will be back
yes,
in some other
yes.
form.
This fact we have to accept.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
it
mean,
is.
if you look at it, like we were talking about somebody who has gone overseas. Now, you don't see them for years. You don't
Yes,
mourn that.
yeah,
But the moment, supposing that person in their old age, they died over there and you get the news here, now you start mourning. But there was no
yes.
difference. You were
Yeah.
not, in touch
These
with that
things
person.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Earlier time, things happened like this, and people were not having any news of their near and dear ones. And nowadays, teleconferencing, video conferencing, all the facilities are here. But earlier,
Yeah.
only video records and video cassettes were sent after months, after long months. So
True.
this was the way people
True.
used to communicate. Yes, Didi. Thank you so much for your this guidance, and
Hello.
it's really a pleasure attending these sessions. Thank you so much, Didi.
Thank you. So it's all about our own understanding and our own comfort level. When we are comfortable within, all these things will become something that, you can cherish good memories also. You don't
Yes,
have
yes,
the
Didi.
memories don't have to haunt us. No?
Yeah, yes, Didi, true. Yeah.
Okay. Balaji
ठीक है.
Reddy.
Happy Diwali, Didi. Happy Diwali
Happy.
to all the co-explorers. Thank you.
Okay.
Namaskar, Sharmlaji.
Ji, namaste.
So in seventh batch, you trained us, Didi. Again, again, I'm with you. So thank you very much. So yesterday's exercise, uh, first exercise, first point, observing when I observe my interaction with the body by sitting in a comfortable posture and trying not to change for 10
Mhm.
minutes. What I observed, um, the interaction, you are giving the question, observe my interaction with the body.
Mhm.
I observed almost nothing, no interaction. Less than 10% I interacted with the body.
Mhm.
In the remaining time, I was.
Namaste, co-explorer. Happy Diwali. I am attending continuously
Nice.
every day. We are enjoying so much. And when I am doing meditation, myself is deciding always, why don't you spend some time to realize of the God, and you take spare time to realize of the God, and that's why when I am closing my eyes, I am my figure. I have observed my figure of Lord Dharma. I am playing one Salison. And
I'm not
again,
able to hear you clearly. I didn't understand what you're saying. It's not very
when I'm
clear.
closing my eyes,
Mhm.
myself is seeing Lord Hanuma.
Seeing what?
Lord Hanuma.
Hanuman. Okay.
And I'm remembering Hanuman Salisa.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Lord Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
I am remembering Krishna's names, various names of Krishna's. And I am remembering Lord Prabhu. And I am remembering Mataji. And I am remembering whatever the God is there, I am remembering all the gods. And I am enjoying myself. And my body is continuously support to me when I'm praying, remembering gods. So I'm myself is thinking, why don't you spend some time for in this situation? This is the time to spend, realize the remember the God, remembering the God. Most of the time, our life is going wasting some others. But when you are giving the meditation, why don't you remember the God and where you can um, take the blessings from others also. And I am thinking that continuously when I'm contacting with you, we are lot of enjoying, madam. And nobody will give this much sessions and every day. But I am thinking that God is giving to gift to me, those people, those who are co-explorer, giving a good sessions to develop the society and the world. I am really enjoying madam every day. I'm not lefting the classes also. But I'm trying. This is the first time I'm attending the 11th batch. I'm the 11th batch. It is the first time attending the morning sessions.
Nice.
But is it correct, madam? Otherwise, you have to go concentrate only body and self. I don't know.
See, ultimately, we'll see,
Not
what we have read, what we have heard from scriptures, from texts, from elders, you know. So many things we believe. We may have read the Ramayana, we may have read the Mahabharata, we may have gotten many facts from these books, and so we build an image within us. Yeah? Now, have we really seen, or are we believing something? These are two different things.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you believe something, then you go by that belief.
Yes, ma'am.
And beliefs may change also. But here what we are trying to do is, we are trying to go beyond the belief and seeing for ourselves, is it really like that? So how will we know for sure? We will know for sure when we directly see these things for ourselves. Is it really that they are in human form? Is it really that they look a certain way? Is it really that, these names that I am seeing, the form that I'm seeing, is it that these are people in this form? Or should I be looking at their qualities? What was said about these forms? What were their qualities? And can I imbibe those qualities in me? There's a very big difference. I'll give you an example. I'm not saying you're doing this, but just to draw out the difference. See, if I believe that I need to devote myself to a particular god, say, no? Now I may have all that emotion in me when I go to the temple, when I sit for prayer, when I sit for meditation. But what are my feelings when I come across, mute on your side? So, what are my feelings when I come across, say, a murderer? Now, how do I feel? How did that belief in me help me? So, if I can see from that belief that, every human being is pure within, doesn't want to do wrong, but perhaps circumstances were different for different people, and they may have, without understanding, done something like that. I will have sympathy, I will have compassion for them. If not, if I assume this is somebody who did something wrong, what God said he should do, he is not doing, now I will have animosity towards him. I will have opposition towards him. Can you see the difference? So ultimately, how do I decide how to be? If we can see within ourselves which feeling seems right for me, if I can refer to my natural acceptance, then I will see this directly within myself. So one thing could be that we believe in certain forms, and so we, pray. But what really is prayer? What really is remembrance? What are we trying to remember? Are we remembering the form, or are we trying to imbibe those qualities in us so that we can be better human beings, so that we can be a source of inspiration for others? So we say, no, be godlike. What does that mean? So for, to truly be able to see that, I need to look within and see there is a pure part in each one of us. We can take inspiration from there. I'm not saying not to believe in forms, but ultimately, are we able to see that this, this source of inspiration is there in each one of us, and that we can access it? It is possible to do. No, then we can be ourselves a source of inspiration for others. And in that process, we also have the continuity of happiness. Yeah. जी, Venkatrao ji.
Thank you very much, madam.
Okay, thank you. So, 10 minutes are not there, but we'll maybe for 5 minutes we'll observe, then we'll come back. Chandrakala ji has raised her hand. Chandrakala ji, we'll come back to you in 5 minutes. We'll do a little 5-minute observation, self and body, and then we'll come back.
Namaste, Didi. Namaste to all. Didi, my question is, as a human being, we can see the things outside in the daytime because of the presence of sunlight. My eye can sense the picture, so I can recognize the picture in the presence of light. But the bird like owl that can able to see the things in the night time also. So
Mhm.
according to me, I say that day and night, when I see it is a day, and when I can't see in the absence of light, I called it is a night. But
Mhm.
that the bird, uh, it called that night time is a day, and maybe
Mhm.
that daytime what I am seeing is the night.
Mhm.
So what is night? What is day? What I imagine in my, according to me, something I imagine or assume. So it is not a
Mhm.
reality. Is it so, Didi?
Yeah, in fact, this is very interesting.
Hmm.
Everything we see about the outside world
Hmm.
is with our own perspective in mind. Na?
Hmm. Yeah,
So,
Didi.
from our perspective, this is day, that is night.
Hmm.
From the perspective of the owl, if you see, it is the reverse.
Hmm.
For all nocturnal animals, it will be reverse. Na?
Hmm. Yeah.
So, actually speaking, everything that we are seeing
Hmm.
becomes relative to our own perspective,
Hmm.
not something absolute,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, Didi.
So, you touch something, you think it is cold or warm. It is
Hmm.
relative to your own body temperature.
Hmm. Hmm.
It is
Yeah.
different from your body temperature. That's how you can tell that this is cold, this is hot.
Hmm.
No?
Hmm.
If it was not the case, then how would you tell? The
Without reference,
season,
I cannot. Yeah, Didi.
the seasons change, so you can tell the passage of time.
Hmm.
So when seasons change, you go through that whole cycle and you say 1 year has passed.
Hmm.
You go through one cycle of day and night. The day
Hmm.
happens, sun rises, sun sets, day is over, night comes. So you
Hmm.
can say passage of time.
Hmm.
If those things did not happen, you wouldn't be able to tell this difference in time. So it's not something absolute. It is all relative.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Everything that we see is relative.
Hmm.
You observe things a certain way. A fish in the pond of water
Hmm.
will have very different observations.
Hmm. Hmm.
For the fish, that is the life, that is the world.
Hmm.
For us, this is the world. Underwater is something we don't even consider
Hmm.
as life for us. No?
Yeah, Didi.
So everything that we look at is in terms of our own perspective,
Hmm.
how we relate or how those things relate to us, our needs, what is
Hmm.
significant for us.
Hmm.
Based on that, we, base our entire perspective. Now, what is something which is without this reference? There is,
Hmm.
without this relativity with something
Hmm.
else. So, what is that absolute?
Hmm.
So, something absolute is the natural acceptance.
Hmm.
And the natural acceptance is there in each one of us. It's a reflection of what is actually absolute in this existence.
Hmm.
That is that absolute. So we say, existence is coexistence. That is
Hmm.
absolute.
Hmm.
There is harmony in this existence. That is absolute.
Hmm.
Relation,
Hmm. Hmm.
of all the units with one another. That is something absolute.
Hmm.
But the way we look at things, it is through our that comparing, analyzing. So you're always comparing something with something else. Therefore, you are able to say something about it. So like night and day. So we split up things into plus, minus, or negative, positive, day, night, these kind of things. And those differences, when we compare, then we say, this is what it is. But this is all relative.
Relative.
It is how we are comparing things within us, isn't it?
Yeah.
How we come to some conclusion. So it's very interesting, that perspective. Our perspective is what decides things for us. But we can go beyond that perspective and see the underneath the absolute, which is at the base of this. Then there is no, every time our perspective changes, things don't change. Like you feel that something is hot, or you feel, something is cold compared to your body temperature, but you touch some ice and then you hold this glass of water. Now it seems hot to you
Yeah.
because now your fingers are very cold.
Cold. Yeah.
So everything is relative, if you see, when we look at it like this, because we are looking at it from our perspective.
Yeah.
Anyway,
By understanding the things according to the science, what we are read in the books, what we are listen, Didi, with we study the existence, nature with comparison only. So we are arguing like if somebody says something in their perspective, we start to argue. No, it is not like that. It is like that. Now, when we start to understanding the things, uh, I am seeing that what I know till date, it's not like that. But I was felt that I know so many things, but now I am feeling I don't know anything. That's now I want to know what is actually the reality. How, yeah, Didi, this is how I am feeling, Didi.
nice. Thank
Thank,
you.
thank you,
Yeah.
Didi. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Time is also up. We should shift to the Hindi session. Sunil ji.
Ji, Didi. Yeah. Thank you so much, Shamla Didi, for this enriching session today.